Hi guys, so this is day one of DSA learning. So I'm going to start with mm, actually I have revised and even I recorded a video on the Python. So I just revised the Python basics. You might hear some background noise. Actually, my neighbor is watching a video of concert, so that's why you might hear some background noise. So avoid it, please. And sorry for like I wasn't able to like I was expecting to start video uploading videos and from yesterday, but due to some work pressure and network issue I wasn't able to publish a video, and I decided to discard those videos because these are more than 1 hour's length of video is more than 1 hour. So let's directly jump to the topic and let me start sharing my screen. Actually, control shift command shift F5, and here we go. So 1 2 3 and let's start. So if you see, I'm on the VS Code screen, not on VS Code screen but on VS Code. And here you can see I just asked ChatGPT to create a roadmap for me to revise Python, and it created a roadmap, and I was expecting to complete it in within 1 hour, but to be honest it took me more to revise it. Like even before recording the video I was just going through like what topic I know and what topic I don't know. So now the thing is, I I'm little short tempered or what. Let me drink water, bro. So we have to start it. Okay, so before that, let me tell you a story. Not a story, but I was scrolling through LinkedIn when I went for dinner. When I went out for dinner, so I found an interesting video. If I think it's already got viral about penguins and all. Like when penguin uh, diverted from the fleet of penguins. So the caption was something like ignore the voice background noise. Yeah, so it was like no one is going to say no one is going to come to save you. You have to work, and basically no one is going to rescue. So yeah, you have to work and you have to save yourself. So I think uh, I'm not able to explain you properly what I wanted to say. Maybe once I'll be more fluent in English. So for that I have started practicing from today onwards. So I'll be better storyteller, or explain. I'll be able to explain it properly. But we can't lose hope. So that's why I have started this channel and all things so that I can make progress. And this is a good way to be motivated. Like every day you have to record, so you have to definitely. I have to go. I need to go through the DSA and all. So okay, so here day one, what I'm planning to start with array. So in Python, like we call it as a list, and these lists are dynamic, so you don't need to learn vector for dynamic array or static array and all. Just one list, and it's going to help you to store any kind of data. But don't forget, you have to learn DSA first. I mean, the basic working of it, like how it's working. It's ultimately they have built similar to the what how it's working in C++ or something. I'll work on that part as well. So instead of philosophy, let's begin. So what I'll do, actually, let me open Chrome, bro. Open here, so we can start something. Okay, what is this? Keep Chrome in your dock. Yeah, keep in dock, bro. No problem. Convert to PDF and all. If you see suggestion, just ignore them and take you forward. I guess I am already logged in. Bro, this is unfair. If you see, let's take you forward. I took subscription, I guess 1 year back. I was uh, consistent for some few for a month or while, and after that everything got shattered. And this time I'm not going to do that. At least I'll reach till until I'll finish all DSA problems, and not all DSA problems, but until I'll be comfortable in solving problems, because it's going to hurt so badly. And it's because of it I'm not feeling confident enough to solve, like whether I'll be able to solve. And this time I'm going to take help from YouTubers and all. I mean, help in the sense I'll solve problems pattern wise, and also I'll rewatch my videos that I'm going to record and all. And also one more thing, this time the main purpose of it is to explain it properly. Like what is in my mind, no one is if I'm going to solve a problem in an interview, and if I'm unable to explain it properly, then it's completely waste. So, bro, let's begin. This so it's too much philosophy now. Time to start with DSA. So I'll start with easy problems that I already, to be honest, I already solved these problems in the past. If you see, it's been long time I haven't solved problems. All crying emojis are here, and here we go. So let's start with easy and take it easy, bro. Let's solve it. I'm already plus member of Take You Forward. So I'm not promoting or something. I'm just like I took when they started. So at that time, so it's like for all, uh, it's forever. Like they are going to provide me free. At the starting, they came with concept like whoever is going to take the subscription, they will. Uh, Otherwise, now I think they are providing the subscription for 1 year, and for maybe I'm little lazy or too lazy. So okay, so this let's start with problem. Too much philosophy is not good for me or you. Okay, so it's largest element. We have to find out max of element array of elements. So we have an array of integer nums written integer. Okay, return the value of largest element in the array. Input we have 3361. Output 6. The largest element. This is this. So okay. So I know this problem. It's very basic, or it's too basic. So let me start projecting my screen, and we'll assume like it's not just first problem. It's the important problem. How can I? Hi. Is it not working or what? Hey bro, what's wrong with you? Why are you not working? What the heck, man? I'm just trying to project my screen. Screen. Something is wrong with it. Hmm. Yeah, things are not working today. I don't know what's wrong with it. Let me disable the dark mode. Oh, it's already disabled, man. Then what's the problem? God is not supporting me today. Okay, no problem. We'll solve it. क्या bro? Sorry. I the thumb rule is I can't speak Hindi at least until I'm recording. Otherwise, all day I'm just speaking Hindi only. So that's not going to help me in job and all. So biggest problem is I am unable to share my screen, notepad screen. Something is wrong here, and I can see only black screen. This is unfair. Okay, so it's very bad. Now, how I'm going to use it if it's not working? This is not a debugging class. Okay, not working, bro. Sorry. Okay, let's. For the timing, I'll go with here only. So what we can do? We have an array of elements, and here we need to find max. So what we can do? Step one, I'll I can iterate through all elements. So for example, here three. So let's assume the three is the okay. Let me assume that three is the max value we have. So I'll assume first element. So there will be what is the constraints here? Number length. So that means there will be at least one element. So we can assume we can take first element as a max element. So we assume that this is the max element so far. Then we'll check remaining element like again index number 1 3. So we'll check, is it are you max? No. So it's equal to it, so we don't need to perform any operation, so we move to next element 6. We'll see and we'll compare again, are you more than the value that I have? Yes, 6 is greater than 3, so it will store 6 as a max value, and then again it will check with for iteration 4. It's going to check, so there will be three iterations on it: iteration 1, iteration 2, iteration 3. It will check and ask 1, are you greater than 6? No. Then it will, and then it will come out of iteration, and the result will be whatever we have in the iteration. So we can do first uh, store first element as max, and here not max, don't be confused here, largest. So largest is nothing but num of 0, that is nothing but first element. Okay, great. Now we need to start iterating from second element onwards. And if you see, for I in okay, let's say el will say el as element in, okay, and here we can say nums, and nums we can use slicing operator, so it will be 1, index number 1 onwards, and what we have to do? Okay, let's take 1 onwards, so it's going to increase 1 by 1 default values. So it's like 1, here will be max, you can say, and this one will be max value of index, and this one going to be +1. So that's what logically it's, but we can ignore, these are default value. These will be default values of this slice operator or slice of operation. And now what we should do here is nothing but we need to compare largest, nothing but, let's take if, that will be easy. If largest, not largest element is greater than, not equals to, we are looking for max value, so el is greater than, equals, not greater than, okay, largest, then largest is nothing but el. I think I'm not using Pythonic way or what. And finally whatever the value that we have, return el. not EL, sorry, largest. Okay, so try. Yeah, it's very simple one problem, so I just need to solve it. Okay, if you see, I solved it in 2025 and it's very bad. I haven't completed it complete. Okay, now let's see complexity. Complexity, here we have largest element. So if you see this one, this is going to take order of 1 constant. Here if you see, it depends on the input value of nums. If there are n elements, then it's going to iterate for n times. To be honest, it's going to take order of n minus 1, but that is nothing but order of n only. So n minus 1 operations, and then these all operations are constant value. Like if it will check for if greater than this, it will take order of 1. And here when we are overwriting the well existing value, or when we are assigning the value, it's going to take order of 1. So we can say order of n, and here order of 1, and here order of 1. So ultimately if you see, everything is taking order of n. So finally if you see, for each operation we are taking order of n. So for n times it's going to take order of 1. So ultimately it's nothing but order of n. Complexity will be here order of n. Okay, thank you. So we solved problem for number 1. Let's move to problem number 2. So shall I mark for revision? No. Okay, great. I know there is option we can sort the element in first and second array, but that's not going to help me or help us to solve this problem. So we have given an array nums of an integers. So we have given an array nums. The name of array is nums, and there are n integers. Return true if array nums is sorted in non-decreasing order, or else false. Okay, non-decreasing. That means if there are two elements and both have equal values, then we can say it non-decreasing. Not no. Non-decreasing means either it should be equal or it should increase. Values are should be increasing only. Okay, so it's like ascending order, ascending is. Am I pronouncing it correct or wrong? Or right or wrong? Okay, so here we go. And what we will do, given an array of integers, so what we can do, first we have to think. Let me see one more time. If I'm able to open notepad, then it will be better, but if it's not working, then ultimately I have to restart it or whatever. Something is wrong though. Today my luck is fucked up. sorry sorry, something went wrong. Hi guys, why are you not working, bro? I don't know. Okay, let's uh, think out think out loud here only, because we don't have any option right now. So what we can do, first thing is, we have number we have few numbers. So let's say take example of this. So how I'm going to approach this problem? Actually, if you see, we have these numbers. So we need to check something like one. Let's say start with this, I guess. 2, we can check with previous value. Are you equal or less than me? So one will say yes. Then cause okay. So here it will be something like, first we'll check this number 1, index number 1, and like we will start with index number 1 so that we can compare with previous value. If previous value is good or it's okay, then we can say till here we have sorted, and when we are moving to this number, we can ask this one, are you greater is younger, not younger, so are you smaller or equal to me? It will say yes. So it already checked for its previous, and it is now asking to this, or it is just checking this number. Similarly, for 4 it will check with 3, 5 it will check with 4, because all other numbers are already sorted. So let's begin. We have numbers for, okay, how are we going to, okay, we need a variable where we can store the last value, or do we need it or not? Wait a minute, 1 minute, sorry. So how we are going to check whether the values, past values, are okay or not? One way we can use recursion, like every time we just assume that for 5 we will assume like this one is going to return true, then I'll just compare with this number and I'll return true if this number is. But here if you see, we can't directly blindly follow this path, we need to break. So what we can do, first we will store value as true, because when if there, how many numbers can be there, 1, then always it will be true. Okay, so then we will start with this number and we'll ask, are you less than me, and the value that it calculated so far is true or not false. If it is false, then I'll go to I will just break and return false. But if it is true, then I'm going to return true. So I think I'm unable to explain it properly in here, but I need to I'll try to explain it. So let me try again. Otherwise, how I'm going to survive in an interview? The problem is here what we will do. Okay, so we have these numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our goal is to check whether the array is non-decreasing, whether element of array are sorted or not. So for that, what I'll do, simply I'll check first number. I'm assuming 2 is okay. Okay, so okay, here we can assume, not a we can't assume, to be honest. So okay, okay. So will we start with first number and we'll ask, are you sorted? So it will say yes, as first number is sorted. So when we'll ask 2, like we'll go to 2, second number, we'll check the status of previous array, whether it is sorted, and we'll just compare with the previous number. If both are following the criteria and all other previous numbers are sorted, then we can say it is sorted till this number, till the index where we are processing. So we can say is sorted. Okay, we have, so maybe flag, let me call it a flag as a true at. So if okay, what we can do, what we are going to do, flag is equals to true, and we are not going to process the first number, and we'll start iteration from second onwards. So for ELN, and let me call it last, so it will be easy. We don't need to track the index, we will just process the element and and the last element. So last will be nothing but nums of 0, Okay, here we will be having 0 and element in nums, and let's use slice operator 1 onwards, and here we can do one thing. Now we will check. First thing is if flag and el means the current element is greater than or equals to last element, then we can say so far we got the correct. So continue, I'll just use, I think here is continue or not. Yeah, else break, and we'll break the loop and we will use, because we don't need to process further as we got the first condition, that is breaking the sorted criteria, so we can break the loop here onward. Flag is nothing but false, and we can return the value whatever we are getting, so return flag. Okay, so we got the value, and if it is true then we'll get true, otherwise it's false, then we can return this value. And let me try it. So this one is also very simple and easy problem. So oh, I got wrong value. 12145, expected output false, and I got true. How? Oh, sorry, my bad. We need to take last as the element. Sorry, big blunder I did. Oh, it started. Something went wrong. Yeah. So here you can see we are getting our solution got accepted. So did I submitted the code or no? Did I submit the code or no? I haven't submit. Processing. It's taking time little. So let's see how what is the complexity of it. Complexity. So here we can say first one will take order of 1. Second one operation is also constant operation, so it will take order of 1. And this one is nothing but it depends on the size of array, so this loop will take order of n. And here we are performing constant operations, so we can say it will take order of n. Yeah, so this one also we solved the second problem. Now let's move to third. So I'm expecting I'll solve this four basics problem, so tomorrow I'll move to easy problems. We have to solve it quickly, and the big challenge will be when we are solving the real problems. These are just basic to beginner friendly problems and second largest element. So let's see how we are going to solve this. Actually this, okay, so here we have an array. Given an array of integers nums, return the second largest element in the array. If the second largest element does not exist, return -1. Second largest element, that means we are expecting at least two elements, right? So yeah, so if length of array is here, based on the constraints, an array can have length of 1 up to 10 raised to power 5, and an element can be negative -10 to 10 to the power 4 till 10 to the 10 to the power 4. So how are we going to approach this problem? This one is I have to think about it, how I'm going to solve it. So first thing, second largest element. I stuck in such problems. I always have to think little bit more, because I'm unable to recall, or I'm unable to remember the problems solution and all. So every time I feel new fresh problem. 88765. I know there is one option. We can pass through the complete array, and whatever is the first element that is maximum value, then we can compare and we can store the second max value. But this is going to take order of n plus order of n. So two times we are going to process the array, and that is not efficient approach. Though it will take order of n, but still it's like interviewer is not going to be happy. So okay, so what we can do, actually I'm thinking, so first element we don't need to process, and we will call it as a max value. Okay, so max, and second max will be nothing but blank for the time being. And then we'll move to say, so we will start processing from the second element onward, and we'll check 8, are you greater than x first, then if so, okay, what I'm thinking, so here will be three steps. First, let me note down. Step 1, store the first value as largest. Largest, bro, the suggestion is hilarious. Largest, अबे हो जा, sorry, I used Hindi words. So now we'll start processing from step 2 onwards. Sorry, step 2, iterate through elements. Okay, so we'll start iteration, and what we'll check, so step 3, at each element. So okay, check if it is larger than first element, larger than, larger or equal, larger than, okay, larger or equal, let's take one in one bunch. EQUAL, larger or equal to largest. Then what we will do, simply overwrite. To be honest, it should not be the case. Equal condition is like we don't need to process this element, as we already stored it as large. But here I'll just skip that condition. If larger, then what we can do, if the value is larger, then store it. So take the existing value as backup and store the new value in largest. Okay, so and change the second largest to largest backup. Okay, so now we are updating. Else, if it is, if equal, skip, just move to next step. If else part, if it is not largest, then else, check if the number, if number, let's call it as an element, if the element is okay, so else check if the element is what, greater than, is larger, sorry for my typo mistakes, if larger than second largest, store it. Else move largest largest or second largest is not stored it. Maybe second element onwards, so not stored yet. Then we can store it. So let's follow the same approach. First step, let me call to create two variables or store. Let's store first value. Okay, so we call largest as is nothing but nums of 0, so we are expecting at least there will be one element. And second, let me call it second largest. Bro, why are you taking so big variable name? Largest is nothing but, let me call it as a none, or we can say null for the time being. And then for el in nums of, I don't know, I'm not sure if this approach is correct, but yeah, let's proceed with this approach only, whatever is coming into my mind. So okay, if el greater than equals to largest, then we have to do two options. If el equals to largest, I think I'm using too many operations and it can be solved using simpler approach, but I'll check the video that they have provided tutorials, so I'll get more idea. Might be I'm not using the perfect approach, but here it is not going to impact the complexity, but yeah, it will increase complexity, not complexity in the terms of order of n or that complexity, but readability issue will be there if I'm using too many if else conditions. So el equals to largest, then just continue, because we don't need to process this element as it's not going to help in second largest as it is equal to largest. So yeah, else we can say bkp, backup is nothing but, okay, so existing value largest, and then we can store the new value to the largest will be el. And if now we can say, yeah, we can blindly say this value will be second largest, will be nothing, uh, we can say backup value will be second largest. And here we go, we solved the first if condition. Else will be something like, if, okay, second largest is none, or second largest is less than, let me use some better version of it, el greater than second largest, then we can say second largest is nothing but will be el. Okay, now we process this part, if else, and we'll continue. Even we don't need to use, we can skip those numbers where el equals to largest, but we'll refine. The problem is not to refine it, our goal is to solve problem, at least for time being. These are small problems or simple problems, so yeah, easy one, even not basic. It's basic one, yeah, too basic as per the DSA problems. Okay, so we have completed the loop. Now we can check the final condition, that will be like, if second largest is none, that means there is only single element, return what we need to return? -1. Else return second largest. I can't store -1 as you might, if you see the numbers are negative as well. So yeah, otherwise I have used, like, instead of none I have used -1 as second largest. If the if and then I can return blindly second largest, but here the problem is we can't. So let's see if I'm able to solve it or there are any problems. Yeah, so it is working as per expected, but once while submit it, we'll see the real. I solved these problems on May 11 2025. Bro, really I did lots of mistake in past years. Okay, so we are able to solve it. Now we can see, we can check what is the complexity of it. If you see, this is going to take constant order of 1. It will take order of 1. Here it depends, this loop depends completely, or here we are simply iterating through all the elements except the first element. So order of n minus 1 is nothing but order of n, and here we are performing constant operation, so we are not skipping any elements, so we can say it will take order of 1. No, sorry, my bad. We can say it will take order of n time to uh, process this function. So it depends on the length of number. So complexity will be no order of n. Great, we solved the second problem. Now let's move to next problem. Tutorial description. Okay, done. Solved 3 problems we have covered so far. I'm targeting all complete alpha 4, 5, 6, whatever problems are there. Linear search. Given an array of integers, nums, and an integer target, find the smallest index, 0 based index, where the target appears in the array. If the target is not found in the array, return -1. So our goal is to find the index of first matching element, or first element that is uh, target element. Okay, so what we can do, it's very simple approach. So I'll do actually here, if you see, we can store index as -1, because ultimately if we are unable to find, then we can whatever the index that we are going to find, simply we can return. So -1 we are assuming, and if we'll get any index, matching index, then we'll overwrite, otherwise it will be -1 only. So let's start with 2. First, what is the target value? 3. We'll check with 2. Bro, are you equal to 3? Are you equal to target? No. Then we'll continue, we'll skip and we'll continue to 3. Are you equal to 3? Yeah, it will say yes. Then what is your index? So it will say, okay, so its index is nothing but 1, 0 and 1. So we need index also. So here we can't iterate like for I in this array. So here we need index. So there are 2 options for I in, let me say idx. In there is one function enumerate, another one, so I'll use enumerate. Okay, but it is great if you are using number and element both, but I don't think we need both, right? So let's use, I'll get to know, it's been long time I haven't used this num, and yeah, nums, so it will start with 0. So, and we can say we are going to get pair of values, so we are basically holding them into variable. So okay, so here we will be having index and element. So let's see, first we'll return, let's say index equals to, that we are going to return -1. If el equals to equals to, target, simply return, Okay, do you do one thing? Yeah, we can return here simply target, or let's do one thing. Let me do some better version of it. Index is nothing but, okay, idx, and break the loop. We don't need to process further, and finally return index. Okay, so done. Let's see. I what say? It will be easy peasy problem. Let's submit it. You see, I solved this one also in May 11th, and it's going to be 1 year after April, so I did many mistakes. So great, we solved it again after 1 year. Cheers to you and me, both of us. Okay, now let's see with the complexity. If you know it's order of one, it will be take it will be going to iterate through all the elements. So here we can say it will depends on the input size, so we can say a number of elements, so we can say order of n, and I mean n times this loop is going to iterate, and every time when it's going to iterate it will take order of n complex. Basically it is a constant operation, so total it's nothing but order of n order of n, yeah, order of n. Done. So let's move to next problem, that is, I guess it's final one, right? Linear search and left rotate array by one. After some time I'll see I'll take more than 1 hour to solve the problems. But for the time being I am just, these are so basic, and I think I already solved these problems so many times, so that's why these are just brush. I'm just starting from basics, so that because I have started using another language and it will be helpful for me and data engineering and all other stuff. So guys, given an integer array nums, rotate the array to left by one. So I mean rotate the array means just pull the first element and shift all the elements to the starting. Can we say like this? But we can't do that directly. Okay, so what we will do, will we can do, I mean, let's start with first. So if we'll start with first element, then what we need to do? Actually, yeah, okay. Basically, what we need to do, we need to shift these elements to this one to this, and this one to this, and this one to this, and finally this one to at the end. So, okay, how are we going to process it? We don't need to take any another array, otherwise there is option like we can yeah, if we need to use another array, then simply we can do like start pulling the data from second, yeah, index onwards, and append them, or yeah, so insert them in another array, and then at the end just pull the first element and append it at append it at the last. But here we can't do that, otherwise it's like you are going to use order of n space complexity, so we don't need to use extra space. We can solve it into single, just swiping 2 to 1, 3 to 2, 4 to 3, and 5 to 4. Yeah, so what we will do, let's do one thing. First is first element, let's store first element as, yeah, so first we will store first element 0, will add it at last. But what if there are swiping with n numbers, then we have to think about it. Suppose we are shifting by k elements, k minus 1 elements or something, then I think there is one more problem related to that. But for the timing, let's start with this basic approach. And then what we can do, what we can do for I idx and el, and then in okay, in enumerate okay, nums of, then let's do one thing, one onward. And then Python is so easy PG language too. There are so many up, like we can solve problems quickly or fast. We can write the problems solution quickly. Now what we will do, okay, so we took the index, we took the element out of like moving second element onwards, so we have to shift the element to the first, I mean the one index prior to the existing index. So can we say nums of idx minus 1, that will be the previous to the existing element, and there, and nums of idx will be nothing but, oh sorry, my bad, I was about to swap the numbers. So here we don't need to swap the numbers, but just we need to shift the numbers. So what we can do, we need to shift this number, right? So el, yeah, el will be, and then finally nums of minus 1, that is the last element, will be first. I know the approach is not perfect, but let's do it for the time being. Do we need to return there? There is no need to return anything, just modify the given array. Okay, so they are, it will they will actually this one is nothing but reference to the existing array. What's wrong with it? Left, right. So 0. Hey bro, what you did? Huh? Okay. Something is fishy here. Let me do one thing. Minus 1, 0, 3. First one element will be out of it 0. So 0 will be here. Moving forward 3 will be here. And then 6 will be here. What's wrong with it? Print idx. I believe, yeah, got it. Index will start from 0 onwards. So yeah, we need to take index 1. My bad. Submit it. So I got it. Like when you are not passing an index value, it's going to take default value 0. So it was like I'm just using -1. That was going to pass the last element, index of -1. If you see in Python or any other language, then -1 will be throwing error. Here it's not throwing error. So it's going to basically pass the value to the end. So this one is going to take order of n, and these all values are constant. So finally we are going to get this bullshit value. Okay, so we completed basic section. Maybe we'll continue in next video. Actually, I have to learn a lot. It's 12:29 a.m. and now thank you